Well, our guest today has been putting Minnesota on the map and elevating the local food scene here for years. Chef Yia Vang has competed on Iron Chef, been nominated for a James Beard Award, that's the Oscars of the food world, and now he's taking viewers inside the kitchen to share stories behind the dishes. Look.
Have you ever tasted something that transported you to another world?
Dude, that's so legit.
I'm Chef Yia Vang. That's what I aim to do every time I cook. This looks amazing. As a Hmong refugee from Southeast Asia, I use food as a way to share my culture, my family, and our history. Join me as we step into the kitchen with local chefs to relish the cuisines and culture of our neighbors.
Love it. I can't believe it. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, but season 5 of Yia's show Relish is now streaming on the PBS app. Audience, give it up for the one and only Chef Yia Vang. Hi, buddy. What, you coming after my job? I mean, what are you doing? I mean, no, come on, Yia.
I'm more like I've watched you, and I'm just, taking what I can. I'm trickle. You know that trickle.
I love it. No, yeah. Man, are you having fun doing the shows?
It is very fun, and as you know, like when a show starts out, there's a small idea, and then it's like, for me, it started with Brittany and Amy, who were the producer and director, and it was like, they each had a camera, and like I did my own mic, and I would even do the little clappy thing. It was just the three of us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
And then it's like,
still like this here. Yeah.
Whatever, you had a beautiful crew here.
Yeah, we do. We have the best crew.
Yeah, and then now we're in season 5. Where there's like, there's like 7, 8 people on the crew, and then there's like somebody who asks me if I want water. Usually it's like, I know.
You have water, people?
No, it was just like weird. I was like, ooh.
That's fancy.
Yeah. So, but it was amazing. It's amazing to see how it's grown, and it's.
Well, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. So started out as kind of a short show, meaning running time, right?
Yep. So it started out as a web series on tpt.org, and literally it was like 6 minutes. So we would be with a person, a guest, and we would film all day, and then we would have to shorten it to 6 minutes, and like 3 minutes of that was like the cooking aspect of it, and another 3 minutes was like their story. And now we're on season 5 where it's these long stories where we get to dive deep into these people's lives. And what I tell people is, when you think about the food that's on the table, it's being made by these hands. These hands are connected to these bodies, and bodies have the hearts, and these hearts have souls. Like the stories of that food mean so much more.
Don't you find? I think I've said this in 6, 7 different ways every time you're here. I personally think it's wonderful. You are kind of an ambassador for your culture through food. You really are. And I think there are people that probably watch your show that didn't know anything about the Hmong culture before you. It's a great time to be a chef. I mean, because you do have, I remember when I was growing, my point is, I remember growing up, the chef I knew was Wolfgang Puck, and maybe Martha Stewart, but now you really are, through the show, the ambassador for your culture. Do you love that?
It's a great honor to be in that position. I had this really awesome moment with my mom. We were driving somewhere, and she said to me, I never would have imagined that I would live to see a world where my son can travel the country and talk about our food, our people, our family. And like for her, she's this poor little girl from the mountains of Laos, from a war-torn country. And now we get to kind of bring her along on all these different shows and talk about her and the things that she went through. And she would just say to us, she's like, I just never thought that this would ever happen. I never had a realm in my imagination for this.
Has she asked for her own personal water person yet?
That's just me. So here you go, Mom.
Let me, because we're going to be cooking too. Talk to me about season 5. What are some of the highlights of the season?
My first time eating lutefisk. Like,
really?
I went to Olson's fish market, Olson's fish, and that's where they make it. And so we went in and we found like the raw ingredient, from Norway that they ship in, and went through the whole process. I'm not mad at lutefisk. I'm not mad at it.
Really?
Yeah, because of a couple things. It's like you put it in butter.
Did you Yia though? Did you Yia it up?
Nah, man.
You didn't?
We were in a church basement having the full lutefisk dinner. Yeah, it was awesome. It was incredible. But like anything, if you you soak anything in butter, you know, like I mean.
Okay, that's true.
That's true.
I mean.
I'm not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the great part of the show where it got me super emotional was going to Kremarchuk because they make the Hmong sausage for us, and it's Dad's recipe. So Dad got to go, and
He
so
did?
yeah, so it was Oris Kremarchuk and my father, who are both refugees, both immigrants, and they both make sausages, but they're from different parts of the world, and for the first time they just sat across the table and talked to each other, and there was this very special moment where after
That's powerful, man. That's really powerful.
completely where Nick, you know, he's the son of Oris, and I'm, you know, it's my dad and me. I kind of just made this inference where it's like we're just two boys who's just trying to carry on our father's legacy. That's it. At the end of the day, and again, here's a Hmong family, here's a Ukrainian family. You know what I'm saying? And we're in Northeast. And
Northeast Minneapolis.
Yeah. And we're talking about all this, you know?
Yeah, when you guys, I always try to make sure when you come to Minneapolis to visit, come see the Jason Show, go to Yia's restaurant, and go to Kremarchuk's Deli. It's in Northeast Minneapolis. I had a Polo sausage last night at Target Field. It was so good. Yeah. We're going into the kitchen when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Don't forget, Yia's Show is on the PBS app, everybody. More now with Chef Yia Vang. By the way, I tried to ask for water during the break and I was denied, so just FYI. It's all right, Lori. Okay, what are we making, buddy?
So we're doing this Szechuan peppercorn steak salad. You know, I love summer. I love salads. I mean, I'm a meat bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a meat dude, but meat bro, that sounded weird.
Anyway, I mean, you know, that's fine. It's the Jason Show. Say what you want to say. It's
I'm
fine.
a meat dude, but man, I love salads. And one of the things is, if you're at home, just like, you know that spring mix box you buy and you have intention of eating it and then it just
And you never do?
Yeah. Well, this is the time to actually do it, you know? And then you get a bunch of vegetables. We have carrots, we have cabbage, we have watermelon rashers. And here's the thing about salads that we do at Union Hmong Kitchen, we put herbs in it. So you have mint, Thai basil, cilantro, cucumbers, right? So we just throw all that. We have this really simple vinaigrette. It's a coconut ginger vinaigrette. Throw a little bit in there.
You're being humble. Again, let me count. As you're mixing that up, I'm going to say it every time he is here. I love him for various reasons, but I really love him for his tiger sauce. Your sauces are some of the best of any chef I've ever had on the show.
Thank you.
Sincerely, yeah.
Thank you.
Go get that sauce, everybody. Okay, so.
Yep. And then I am a huge fan of when you're eating salad, you need crunch. So we have some spicy peanuts here. Throw that in, and then some fried shallots. Throw that in.
Because again, the perception salads don't have to be boring,
No.
and you can get full off a salad. Because you and I, we're meat bros.
Yeah, we're meat bros.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Bunch of meat bros just hanging out together. Yeah.
Or if you prefer, carnivore cousins. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got that going.
Yeah, Carnivore Cousins sounds like a spinoff of your show on Fox. Yeah.
So what we did was, here's the thing. I think people think about steak. They think about, we got to eat it hot right off the grill. Well, actually, if you do that, you know, you cut into a steak really hot, what happens, all those juices flow out. So when we grill this and we use our Szechuan peppercorn in there, we throw it on, and when you pull it off, you let it sit for 5 or 6 minutes, right? And then what you do get is you get that real beautiful color, medium rare. I'm a medium rare kind of dude. And, you know, you can use less expensive cuts of steak for this, you know. Like, so I've seen people that they'll go, oh, like, let's go with the ribeye, let's go with the strip, and I'm like, yeah, you could, but you can use less expensive. One of the things that I really love doing is the flank steak.
I was just gonna say yes,
flank.
This is what yes.
Yep. And I tell people, you know, we pull it off and then you let it rest and then you slice it real thin against the grain. That's very important, because if you slice it with the grain, it gets real stringy.
Yep.
If you slice it against the grain, because the grain's going this way, you go the other way, like against the grain.
Against the grain, everyone. Yeah. I forget that too, and I start. I'm like, crap.
Yeah. And then what we have here is literally just throw this bad boy right on top.
Oh.
you know?
Look at that.
Yep. And what I always joke, like, you cover the salad, you know?
Yeah.
If it's not covering the salad, what's the point? And then we get a little bougie and just throw more herbs on top, and that's basically it.
Tell the folks again, if you come to the Twin Cities, and I hope you do, where can people find you, all of your places?
Yeah, so we got a couple places. You can go to the stadiums, you know, and we have spots at the Twin Stadium, Allianz Field. We'll be back in US Bank Stadium with the Vikings. And then we have a location on Lake and Bryant in Uptown, and then we have one in North Loop at Grace Food Hall. And then we are right now in this moment, building out and doing construction on our brand new restaurant Vinai, which is in Northeast, which is where the old Dangerous Man building is. So.
And also, I'm going to brag on my friend. I either start or end with a compliment. Also, a humble brag on this guy. The Minnesota State Fair is one of the biggest state fairs in the country. Again, come visit us. We do the Jason Show live. Yia has one of the most successful places at the fair for the last several years.
Yeah, thank you. We are actually in production already. We're about a month and a half into production already. So my mom and my aunt and the church ladies are back. and
They're already working.
Well, last year they did 18,000 galabaos or buns. This year we're shooting for 22,000. So if you line them up all together, I measured it, and it goes a little bit over 1.5 miles. Yeah, so.
Yia Vang, everybody. Follow him on social. And again, if you're in the Twin Cities, head to Union Mung Kitchen in Minneapolis and watch the show on PBS. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody.